Hello and good morning, everyone. I'm Mitch McCoy. Thanks for joining us here on KRK.com, Fox16.com, across all of our digital platforms. I'm joined alongside Arkansas Storm Team meteorologist Kristen Kennedy. Kristen, let's just say the weather department has its hands full over the next 48 hours. You guys are tracking winter weather.
Yeah, we certainly have gotten very busy just over the past 24 hours. Models are doing a very good job at updating and actually agreeing for once on what we can kind of expect as we head into the next couple of days. And the biggest concern is going to be freezing rain, not only across North Arkansas, which typically does see that winter weather, but also down through central Arkansas, including the Little Rock metro area. And we're going to kind of walk you through what exactly you can expect. And so,
That
Mitch, would
sounds
you like?
great. That sounds great.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and get started with what's going on right now, and I'll kind of walk you through what you can expect, especially as we head into the next 24 to 48 hours as this event picks up. This morning, we did have some reports of freezing rain in northwest Arkansas, mainly just a drizzle. Most of that has since cleared out. Satellite and radar is mostly dry. It looks like cloud cover is breaking apart, but if you look out your window, you won't see any sunshine. We do have a lot of lower level clouds that are across the area. Today, there's really not any impact for our area. It's going to be just cloudy and cold temperatures, mostly in the low 40s. Now, there was a winter weather advisory in effect. It's still in effect until noon. I do think the National Weather Service is going to let that expire at noon because there is no longer any precipitation occurring in those areas of far northwest Arkansas. You can then see the rest of the state is rather calm for today, nothing to worry about. But as we head into tomorrow, that's when we'll start to see our winter storm watch come into effect. That does include parts of central Arkansas as well as northeast Arkansas. It will begin at 6 o'clock. And again, this is just a heads up from the National Weather Service that yes, we are looking at potential for winter weather and its impacts, and we are going to be dealing with those impacts again Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Notice this does not include all of central Arkansas, and it doesn't even include northwest Arkansas. The biggest impacts from the storm system are likely going to be in northeast and parts of central Arkansas, including down through Little Rock, as well as Hot Springs and Pine Bluff. So we are going to walk you through a look at forecast temperatures and what you can expect with precipitation. Again, this will be around this evening, much of central Arkansas above freezing. Again, if we see any rain, I don't think we will. I think this model is kind of overdoing it for this evening. Most of the precipitation, however, is going to occur for Wednesday morning, and that will mainly be in the northern third of the state. So the first 1 to 3 rows of counties in North Arkansas tomorrow morning will have temperatures close to, if not below freezing, as well as some precipitation in that area, leading to freezing rain. The whole column of the atmosphere is not going to be cold enough to support any snow or sleet. This is mainly going to be an event where the surface temperature is cold enough that when the rain falls, it will then freeze on instant contact with anything that is outside, especially in elevated locations that, of course, are going to have temperatures well below freezing. So Wednesday morning, the impact is for the northern third of the state. That's going to also continue through much of the afternoon, but closer to dinner time, and I'll even say as early as the late afternoon, we are going to watch our temperatures in central Arkansas start to get closer and closer to freezing, and that precipitation is going to be pushing a little bit further down towards the south. So at that point, around 5 to 6, we are likely going to be starting to see some freezing rain in the Little Rock area, as well as other parts of central Arkansas. The biggest impacts, however, are not really going to come until overnight and into Thursday morning, as we have more and more freezing rain occur and temperatures get closer to and below freezing. Again, you'll get more accumulation expected in the overnight hours, extending through Thursday morning. Waking up Thursday morning, I'm sorry, I just lost connection to my computer, so we'll see if we can reload that for a minute there.
While Kristen's doing that, I want to welcome folks in that are just watching us, online across all of our digital platforms. Want to welcome folks in and let them know that you can ask questions to the Arkansas Storm Team. Ask questions to Kristen. Just use the hashtag ARWX right here on Facebook Live. So if you're watching on our website right now, krk.com, fox16.com, this is going to be mostly used on our Facebook platform. So people joining us on Facebook right now, in the comment section, use the hashtag ARWX, and that allows us to bring your questions in here across all of our platforms. And Brandy is asking this question, hashtag ARWX. Will Little Rock get any of this weather? And Kristen, you're at a very good point here where you're running this down hour by hour, which is giving us a pretty good idea of what Little Rock might receive.
Yes, so Little Rock is certainly going to get some of that freezing rain. It does look like our temperatures are going to be pretty steady at or below freezing, and there's going to be enough moisture in the area to provide that freezing rain in the area. So that does not only just include Little Rock, we're also expecting that in Hot Springs and through Pine Bluff. Further south, I don't think the temperatures are going to support a really significant impact from any freezing rain that does occur. We could get some intermittent periods of cold rain as well as freezing rain, but again, it looks like the highest impacts for this event are going to be mainly through Hot Springs, Pine Bluff, Little Rock, further towards the north through Clinton, Batesville, parts of Searcy, Jonesboro, West Memphis, as well as Stuttgart. So northeast and parts of central Arkansas. Again, we're expecting this Wednesday night through Thursday morning. Models are trying to hint that the moisture might take a little bit longer to clear out Thursday. We could see the chance for freezing rain to extend into the early afternoon, but really by mid-afternoon Thursday, we're not anticipating any more moisture to be in the area. It is just going to be very cold Thursday and again into Friday. So just another breakdown. We'll show you another look at what you can expect going slowly through it. So if you have questions, go ahead and write them down. We'll answer them coming up here in just a minute or two. We currently have a stationary front across the state that is helping to keep kind of moisture in play, but not a whole lot to impact us on this Tuesday. The front, however, is going to kind of meander across parts of north central and northeast Arkansas Wednesday night. Now, this forecast track, don't get worried or nervous. It's not doing a very good job at pinpointing where the moisture will be. We are anticipating, again, that tonight through tomorrow morning, most of the moisture is going to be in the northern third of the state. It's not until Wednesday afternoon into the evening and overnight through Thursday morning that moisture dips further down south, and we do have freezing conditions leading to the freezing rainfall potential. So here's a look at another model kind of showing you who may see what when it comes to ice potential. I still also think it's overshooting it for parts of central Arkansas. This model is hinting at about a ½ inch in Little Rock and maybe even some higher amounts. That might be a little bit too high. So this is what the Arkansas Storm Team is currently forecasting. And again, it is subject to change because this is all very dependent on the moisture content that we have across the state as well as temperatures, and just the slightest change in the temperatures could amount to more or less ice. Currently, however, for the area in the winter storm watch where we have the little bit of bluish purple on the map, that's where we are anticipating the highest accumulation of ice, and it's right now forecast to be about ¼ inch. Off towards west Arkansas, freezing rain still possible, but less than ¼ inch likely. And further south of Hot Springs as well as Pine Bluff through far south Arkansas, it's mainly going to be a cold rain event. So again, freezing rain is in the forecast, and this forecast could change. Of course, we're going to keep you updated here on all of our platforms for KRK4 News as well as Fox 16. But again, just the slightest drop in temperatures or rise in temperatures will lead to very little or higher impacts. Anything above 33 degrees where it's raining, it's not going to be a freezing rain, so you can only expect just some wet roadways, no major impacts in that area. Where you get down to freezing or flirting with freezing around 32 to 31, you'll notice the roads, of course, are going to be wet, but your elevated locations, such as bridges and overpasses, will be slippery. There's certainly going to be some slick spots on them. Even if the roadway is treated, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to uphold that treatment with some freezing rain starting to occur. And elevated objects, anything you have outside, such as patio furniture, your cars, they're going to also get a light glaze of some ice when temperatures are around 31 to 32. Anything below 30 is when we have some serious issues expected. Any untreated roads will completely ice over. Travel is going to be hazardous. We certainly would recommend that you avoid travel if temperatures do get below 30 with freezing rain occurring, as ice will certainly be a big factor. And we're also going to be monitoring for power outages, because even just a little bit of glaze and ice on power lines or even tree limbs could cause some of those tree limbs to fall, knocking out some power. And that's going to be another big concern as we head into the next couple of days. And I just want to point out that we have a lot of weather to deal with this week. It's not just this Wednesday and Thursday event here in Arkansas. We're also going to be dealing with very cold Arctic air across the state Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even into Sunday. And there's potential we could also see a little bit more wintry precipitation coming in Saturday as well as Monday. I'll tell you now, though, that's a little bit more of the long-term forecast, and it's certainly expected to change, but we are going to keep the chance in for now and just keep you up to date on weather impacts, because we have a lot to deal with here in Arkansas. Mitch, do we have any questions that you're able to see that I can answer?
Yeah, we do. Kristen, thanks for that weather update. Certainly a lot of information to digest here. And don't worry, folks, we are here to break this down for you hour by hour as this system starts to approach Arkansas using the hashtag, and we're switching it up a little bit mid-show here just to keep everybody on their toes. Hashtag AR Storm Team, hashtag R Storm Team, AR Storm Team. Let's get right to some of these questions coming in. We have a queue ready for you, Kristen. Robin wants to know, using the hashtag ARWX, again now switching over to AR Storm Team, what do we need to do to best prepare ourselves?
Certainly a good question. So I personally, it's bad when the meteorologist even is a little bit nervous to travel, right? We're all from the South. We're not really used to winter weather. I would certainly avoid travel, especially Wednesday night into Thursday morning. I would try to avoid travel Thursday afternoon as well, because temperatures are going to be mainly in the 30s. So there's certainly going to be some melting that takes place from any of the ice that's out there on Thursday, but we really might not see any of these impacts start to lower until heading into Friday. But some preparations you can make. First of all, might want to rearrange your schedule. It's not going to be the worst thing to work from home the next couple of days. Charge any mobile devices or laptops, your phones, extra chargers that you have in case there is a power outage. Make sure you have your flashlights ready to go, extra batteries, any foods that would require electricity for cooking. Obviously, you might not be able to use that if there's a power outage in your area. So have extra food on standby. This is not a go to the store, get all the bread, milk, and eggs weather event, but you certainly will just want to be prepared in case there is a power outage in and around your area. Also, make sure you probably would like to maybe leave one of your faucets or a couple of faucets dripping, just because not only do we have freezing temperatures on the way, but especially this weekend, it's going to be very cold temperatures, well below normal. We're talking about 30s for highs, in some places only in the 20s. That could lead to some pipes bursting, and just make sure you're staying warm and doing the best you can. Also, another thing to consider, if you have elderly family or friends who live alone, make sure you check on them, make sure they have significant and sufficient heat. Even with the power outage, you want to make sure you have blankets ready to keep you warm as we head into this event.
A lot of great information there, Kristen. Thank you very much. Getting off to Terry's question now. Terry wants to know, how bad are the roads in Wynne, Arkansas going to be?
In Wynne, good question. So the roads are going to be I think they'll be pretty hazardous, especially as we head into Thursday morning when this event starts to kind of wrap up, but at the same time, Thursday morning, there's still going to be freezing rain out there. The roads are likely going to be pre-treated. I know RDOT, Arkansas Department of Transportation, is going to be very busy today and tomorrow to get those roads taken care of. I would really recommend trying to avoid travel, especially Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Maybe some of you have experience when it comes to icy roads. If you think you can handle it, it's up to you, but I would really recommend for everyone's safety to avoid travel Wednesday night into Thursday morning. There is going to be some slick spots on the roadways, whether or not it's treated, especially any of these back roads or local roads. they're probably not going to be treated very well. So I would really just recommend that you take the cautious route and safety first.
Well, Kristen, you know, I'm from Michigan, and I like to say that snow I can drive in. You know, I'm from Michigan. I can handle snow, but I've always been under the impression that when it comes to ice, it doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you have. Once you hit ice, you are no longer in control, and ice is a completely different scenario from snow. So that's what I've always said when it comes to weather and at least snow, at least when, you know, we're talking about, okay, well, do we need hotel rooms? Do we need to get to certain towns ahead of newscasts? Snow I can handle, but ice is one of those things that no one really can handle because at this point, it's ice. You know, four-wheel drive won't help you.
And a lot of the time sometimes you can't even spot where the ice is going to be. You know, with snow, it's completely different. Even when it's raining, you can pick up on where there's going to be a puddle and where you might hydroplane, so you can kind of adjust for that. But when it comes to ice, it's a whole lot harder to not only pick up on where it is, but also be able to navigate and control your car. So I don't even trust myself to go out and drive out there. So,
well, hopefully folks are going to start heeding these warnings. Jesse getting to Bigelow. He wants to know about Bigelow, but it sounds like this might be the same answer for no matter where you live in Central Arkansas.
Yeah, if you're really anywhere in Central Arkansas, especially on this map, if your county or associated location near some of those bigger cities is in the blue, you're going to be under the bigger impacts. Again, that winter storm watch from Wednesday evening starting at 6 o'clock. That's when we're going to start to see more of the freezing rain across this area pick up in development, continuing through Thursday. So again, I'll show you a look at our forecast. And anywhere within the blue here, from Searcy through Clinton, Jonesboro, Brinkley, Wynne, Little Rock, Carlisle, Lone Oak, all the way through close to Hot Springs. These are the areas you'll want to be very cautious and really heed on the side of caution Wednesday night through Thursday morning, and maybe even into Thursday afternoon, as the freezing rain accumulations are going to be the highest in this area is what we're really looking at for right now. It's been very consistent with some of these forecast model updates. We've been chatting with the National Weather Service. We're all kind of on the same page when it comes to this area, as well as what the accumulation is going to be. For parts of Northwest, North Central, and far West Central Arkansas, freezing rain is still likely, so you should also be very cautious in this area. The impacts, however, are not going to be quite as significant, as there will be likely less than 1/4 of an inch of ice. Still going to be some slippery spots, though, so I think everyone in parts of Central and North Arkansas, basically maybe the northern 2/3 of the state, should be extremely cautious and prepare for those impacts. Now, just because you may be living, say, in Searcy, you're on the blue on this map, doesn't mean you're going to get a power outage. But just because you're in Fayetteville, or maybe you're watching at Fort Smith or Russellville and you're on the pink side of the map, that also doesn't mean that you're just going to get power outages. Anywhere across this area could be dealing with power outages, freezing rain, and ice accumulation. Again, it's going to be very spotty depending on who picks up the most ice.
So if we can keep that map up, because we have Woodrow, who's now asking about Conway. We have Brooke asking about Marshall and Searcy County area. We have Leanne talking about the Russellville area. All of these folks, and then now we have Jody asking about Batesville. All of these folks are kind of in, you know, hopefully this map kind of answers all of these questions at the same time, Kristen.
Yeah, all of those places that you listed are all in the areas where we are anticipating freezing rain. Whether you get a little bit of accumulation, less than 1/4 of an inch to maybe 1/4 of an inch or even more, there's still going to be impacts. The roadways are dangerous to travel on. Certainly anywhere from Little Rock up through Jonesboro, including Searcy, the town, not the county. Those areas we are anticipating there to be a little bit higher accumulation. So roadways will become a little bit glazed over, iced over in some spots. There's a higher percentage that will see power outages in that area versus parts of Northwest and West Central Arkansas. However, power outages can still occur anywhere that we are anticipating freezing rain to fall. Again, mainly the northern 2/3 of the state. So Conway, Russellville, I think you said Batesville, and Lone Oak, whatever areas you had just listed, Mitch. Those are all in the concern area for the icy impact. So,
well, and I know that this is a forecast that you guys are closely going to be monitoring here too over the next couple of hours here. Somebody's asking Rocktown Wings, wanting to know about snow. It doesn't look like there's going to be any snow associated with this, at least this go around, Kristen.
Yeah, this is not a snow event, and I'll tell you why. It's because to get snow, the whole column of the atmosphere that the precipitation falls through has to be freezing. And this is not that kind of event. We have some upper level moisture, certainly, but the whole column is going to be mainly above freezing. So you're going to have rain. It's falling as rain from the cloud down towards the ground. But at the surface level, which is where we all live, where we function, where we have our lives of the atmosphere, is where we are going to have temperatures close to, if not below freezing. So that shallow of cold air very close to the surface is where that rain is going to fall through. And it's going to fall rather quickly, so it doesn't have time to freeze to form sleet or any additional snowfall. Instead, it's just going to fall as rain. But since everything outside is going to be at freezing or below freezing, it's going to freeze right on contact. So that's why you get that instant glaze and that instant ice formation. So this is not a snow event. The atmosphere is not cold enough to provide snowfall for this time. There might be another chance in the 7-day forecast that we could get some snowfall, but this event, Wednesday night through Thursday morning, is going to be rain that falls and freezes on contact, creating ice.
So as we wrap up here, just because we could be taking questions all day, and we know that this forecast could change over the next couple of hours, and we're planning on another weather update here soon. Someone's asking about weekend plans, Friday through Monday or Friday through Saturday, because they have plans across the state. How long are we expecting there to be hazardous road conditions for folks that, in this case, it looks like Rayanne's trying to get to Eureka Springs this weekend for a reservation. We have actually someone else who messaged in saying that my husband and I plan to spend our 15th anniversary out in Little Rock on Friday night through Saturday. Do you think roads will be good by then? So folks are starting to wonder even about weekend plans here as we approach the Saturday, Sunday timeframe.
So I can tell you that Saturday and Sunday, we are going to have that Arctic air that we've been talking about for forever actually come into Arkansas. So what that means is that temperatures basically statewide are going to be close to freezing, if not below freezing. So North Arkansas over the weekend will have temperatures likely below freezing for high temperatures. Morning lows, 20s, teens, possibly single digits. Central Arkansas will see temperatures closer to freezing, if not just slightly above freezing. So I think the impacts from this system could possibly last into Friday, as temperatures at that point will be close to, if not just above freezing. So any ice that's forming Wednesday into Thursday might stick around throughout the day on Thursday, but by Friday, with temperatures starting to generally trend a little bit further upwards, we could get some melting to occur. And I also should mention at this point, Thursday into Friday, it is going to be pretty breezy as well as windy. That's going to help with some evaporation of ice and any melting on the roadways. So that should help to dry up the roadways. I don't think we'll have major travel concerns Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Really, it's going to be an overnight for Wednesday into Thursday event. But if you are traveling anywhere in the state, especially farther towards the north, where of course the temperatures will be colder for the weekend, do encourage you to check idrivearkansas.com and check in with RDOT. They do a great job keeping you updated on roadway conditions and whether there's reports of ice or slush. So that will be something to look forward to for the weekend. All of us, no matter where you are in Arkansas, it's going to be very, very cold. And we're also looking at a chance for some wintry precipitation to occur this weekend as well. And I don't want to speak too much on that because it is several days out, and we know when it comes to winter weather, it's really just a 2 to 3 day out event that you can really start to talk about because things change so often. But I do encourage you to stay with us here on the Arkansas Storm Team as we update and fine tune that forecast the next coming days. But we can certainly tell you Wednesday into Thursday, ice storm potential here in central and north Arkansas.
Oh gosh, here we go, Kristen. For folks watching this, and maybe folks just joining us on all of our digital platforms, Kristen, can you just give like a 15-second overview for folks that might be at work and they're trying to avoid their boss while watching Facebook or they're online?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for coming and trusting the Arkansas Storm Team. Second of all, we are going to see freezing rain starting in the natural state Wednesday morning for North Arkansas, but it's going to be shifting further down towards central Arkansas, heading into Wednesday afternoon, evening, overnight through Thursday morning, and might not clear out until late Thursday morning. The impacts are going to be some travel conditions that might become hazardous as ice covers roadways, whether or not they're treated or pre-treated, as well as some potential for power outages. The highest ice accumulations are expected from central to northeast Arkansas. We're still expecting some accumulations through northwest and west central Arkansas. Freezing rain is still expected in that area, but further south of Pine Bluff and Hot Springs is likely to just be dealing with a cold rain as temperatures won't support too much impact from any freezing rain in that area.
Arkansas Storm Team meteorologist Kristen Kennedy, thank you so much for zooming in with us ahead of this winter weather event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, our next weather update comes at noon on all NBC stations in Arkansas. Just go to KRK. Maybe you're watching up in Fayetteville. You can tune into KNWA up there. Pat Walker tracking brand new information for you for our noon newscast. And then just a schedule alert, a stream alert. Governor Asa Hutchinson holding his COVID-19 briefing at 1:30 today. After the governor's COVID briefing, we plan to do another live stream across all of our digital platforms, just like this one. KRK, Fox 16, the Chiefs are in. Keith Monahan, Jeff Baskin tracking brand new weather data for you as well. Stay with the Arkansas Storm Team, KRK, Fox 16 for more information. And now is the time to download the Arkansas Storm Team. The KRK and the Fox 16 smartphone apps will send updates related to this winter storm watch now in effect straight to your smartphone. You won't miss a beat. For now, I'm Mitch McCoy. Have a good rest of your morning.